something we all need. Gotta have it now if you wanna succeed. Striving, surviving, that's no doubt. Sticking together, we gon' find a way out. So all you young people, give it your all. So all you young people, give it your all. So all you young people, give it your all. So all you young people, give it your all.
Good afternoon, the Back community. You guys know how I like to start these interviews off by saying thank you for staying engaged. Thank you for staying involved. Today, I do happen to have an actual relative of mine. So this is my cousin. This is Miss English Walley. This is the CEO, the boss lady of Choose Yourself First. I've called you Tutu my whole life. Can I still call you Tutu, or should I call you?
You can call me Tutu. A lot of people call me Tutu. Ever since I don't know, like Livingston, everybody started calling me Tutu. When my cousins came into the school, because I was I was there before them. Everybody was calling me English, and then when they came into the school, they all called me Tutu. So everybody started calling me Tutu. So it don't matter. That's fine.
Okay. It's actually crazy. It was like, I don't know how old I was when I actually realized that you guys had other names. My whole life, it was always Tutu, it was Honey, right. It was Sugar. It was just like, and I said, English? I said, I don't remember that part when it was coming up, but yeah. Right. Well, listen, the Back community, we happen to have Miss English Walley. I call her Tutu. Since I love her, that's what I'm going to call for the purpose of today's interview. But Tutu, thank you for giving me your time today. You have been such a positive force that I knew I wanted to get you on the platform and talk about choosing you first. And I had to bring my Choose You First tea to make sure that I'm prepared.
It's always Choose You First for me. It's always Choose You First.
Good. Well, thank you for giving me your time today, man. And I really look forward to telling the Capital District area more about you and what you do.
Okay.
All right. Well, so this is what I typically love to do. I know who you are, but I'm sure that there's tons of people in the Capital District area who might not know who you are. So here's your opportunity to tell the Back community more about you. Your first question is, what kind of work do you do, and what kind of passion projects do you work on? Here's your chance to tell the Back community about you.
Right now, like I do office work, I do office work, but my goal is to be full-time in my business, Choose You First, because that's my baby. I birthed Choose You First, and my goal is to pour into people, to uplift people, to let people know it's okay to choose you first. So that's where I'm trying to have my whole full-time job to be to just be self-employed. Like I do office work right now, but that's short term. Long term is to definitely be self-employed and to just be all in to Choose You First, and for the world to see it. That my goal is for the whole world to choose them first, pour into themselves, get to know themselves, focus on themselves, know that it's okay to focus on yourself, and to choose you first. That's just where I'm at.
Hey, listen, I think that's the ultimate slogan. You know what I mean? And I think it's an understatement sometimes because, people may not understand the full importance of what you're saying behind Choose You First. It's really not saying like screw anybody else, but it's saying put yourself, put your wants, your hopes, desires, be vulnerable enough with the world, and the world to give you back what you put out. So I can't wait to dive into this for you, man.
Okay.
With you.
Okay.
I always like to say this. I think you said that you went to Livingston, but one of my first questions is always, what part of Albany or what part of the Capital District area did you grow up in?
With my mom, we lived uptown. And we went, and I went to, so we was like, I don't know, because we went to I went to school 24. I went to Toast. We lived on, what was that, Clinton Ave? No, that's not Clinton Ave. Washington Ave. And we went to more, like I went to We lived on Moore Street. So, but I'm gonna say when I grew up and started hanging outside and stuff like that, that was more uptown. But my cousins hung downtown, so I was hanging with my cousins. So we were downtown too. So I was all over. So, like, I'm just not gonna say like, I just was hanging uptown. Like, no. So I was growing up, and I grew up with my cousins and my first cousins at that who. Everyone thought that we were just friends, but no, we were really live cousins. We were first cousins. My mother and brother is, my mother, brother, daughters are my first cousins, and then my aunt daughters are my first cousins, and we just always been close since then. So we grew up uptown, we lived uptown, but we were hanging downtown too. So we just was all over though. We went wherever we wanted to go. So
okay, hey, listen, that's a privilege to be able to go to all the different parts of the town and not have a problem. It's just like Albany's always divided based upon uptown, downtown, crosstown, out north. But really, when you have a certain personality, a certain spirit about you, and you get love wherever you go, that's the best feeling in the world. So, being uptown, downtown, I always identify with uptown, but I had close friends of mine that was downtown, crosstown, you name it. So, it was the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
Yeah. I actually forgot you guys were on Clinton Ave, man, until you just said it. You just like, was that Clinton Ave? I said it.
Yeah, we was Washington Ave, Clinton Ave, Colony Street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When we were on Clinton Ave, I was at 291. You guys were actually like directly across the street, right next to the lot.
272. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody take you down memory lane.
Right. Yeah, we lived at places for a long time, but we definitely moved around. So
okay. Let me see, man. I want to talk to you more. I know you do office work as your primary job, but you also talked about your ultimate hope is to be able to do Choose You First full time, to be self-employed. And I know your mom, so I know that entrepreneurial spirit is birthed in every last one of you. So, but how did you come to create Choose You First? What was the assignment behind creating Choose You First? Why Choose You First?
So Choosing You First, was birthed from just being in a dark place. When you're in a dark place, you can't expect everybody to know what you're going through because they're not in your shoes or they're not the ones that's going through it. So, everyone, have their dark places or dark times. And I was once in a dark place, and I knew that, for me to get out that place, I had to, dig deep inside of me to, for the power, the strength to get back up, to just know, only I could do that, me and the Lord, so that's why, some of the steps I say to choosing you first is prayer, because that helped me a lot. The strength that resides in us, that's why I say be empowered by you, because you have the power to get up. You have the power to know that everything's going to be okay. You have the power to do what's best for you. So I just tell, so that was definitely something that I went through. So that's where I just was sitting down one day and, knowing you know what to do. And I also say I say prayer, strength, positive self-talk, because you got to talk into yourself, pour into yourself, saying that you could do it. You could do it, you could get up, or what you got to do, or, just being able to just have the strength enough to get up out of that space. Because when you stagnated or you're in a dark place, people don't know what's going on. You can still smile, you can still be show up for them, show love to them, and you still be in that space. And it's kind of hard to get out of it. But with prayer and strength, and you talking into yourself or speaking into yourself, saying that you could do it, everything gonna be all right, you got this. And then self-care and self-love. You gotta take care of you. You can't take care of nobody else if you don't take care of you. And me as a mother, I have kids. I pour into my kids. Everybody know I love my kids. I dress my kids. I teach my kids. I make sure they're good. I let them know that school is first. I pour into them. But at one moment I was just living for my kids and not for myself. So no, I needed to start living for me and started pointing to me and taking care of me. Like I could take care of my kids, but not to the full potential if you ain't taking care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your kids, or you can't take care of nobody. And if you don't love yourself, you can't expect nobody to love you, or you can't love your kids, or you can't, love your kids the way they should be loved. You can love your kids, but you can't love them the way they should be loved if you don't love yourself, or if you ain't pouring into yourself, if you ain't taking care of yourself, if you ain't so I just say, everyone, to just take care of yourself. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that makes you feel good, or do something that you love. I just say, choose you first and do what's best for you, so that way you could be the best version of yourself for your kids, your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, uncles, your friends, or whatever relationships you have. Make sure you choose you first, so you can be the best version of you, present yourself to anyone else. So basically, get back to your question. Choose you first came from just being in a dark place, knowing that you got to choose you first. You got to show up for you how you show up for everybody else. Because if you don't show up for you, how you expect anybody else to show up for you? So I just tell everyone that, choosing you first is not an option, it's a necessity. So I decided this year, that I was gonna show up for me this year. That I was gonna choose me first this year, because where I came from, not everybody know where I came from, and it's not for everyone to know where I came from, but I don't mind being a testimony to someone. But so it came from me being in a dark place. That's where it came from. That's where it's birthed from. And I just knew what it took to come back out and be on top and choose me first. And not saying, and then everyone, I get some people that be like, well, my fiance one time was like, what you mean? So what, I had to explain to him that choosing you first doesn't mean that I choose you second. It doesn't mean no, choose you first, in the beginning before I started. And he was like, choose you first. And I'm like, not I need you to understand where I'm coming from this, for this. Choose you first is definitely not choosing you last. It's just choosing me first. I choose my peace. I choose my happiness. I choose to focus on me, get to know who I am, what I want. I know my worth, and it's just getting into me, so that way I could be the best version of a wife, a fiance, a significant other, a soulmate to you. That's what I mean. And then I need for you to choose you first as well.
I love it.
Choose you first as well.
I love it. I love it.
So so it just comes from a dark place. Just knowing what you need to, or how do you cope with being in a dark place, and how do you get out of being in a dark place. Okay. And those steps I listed on my Instagram, because I know those steps, and I feel like those steps will help people. And that's right.
I love it. I love it, because some of our best work is created in a dark space, or coming out of a dark space. And some people make it to the other side of that dark space. Some people, get stagnant. You use the word in there, stagnant. Can stay stagnant in the dark place and be consumed by it. But some of the greatest works that we've ever seen has come from our hardships, our heartaches, and we've been able to turn those things and transform those things into something better. So I love the fact that through your experiences as a mom, as a fiance, just as a human being, it's you had to recalibrate or recalculate what life and what your feeling of life was going to be, and that's what came out. That was you ended up birthing something that's going to be a motto for so many other people. And it's not like you said, it's not to put anybody else second, but it is to put you first, because everyone needs to put themselves first. I love it. When you said stagnation, I immediately thought of your brother, because for years, me and Shao will go motivation over stagnation any day.
Exactly.
So whenever we,
he's definitely one person. He's definitely one other person, because I have, a good support group, a little foundation behind me. He's definitely one of the person that, speaking to me, give me motivation. And one thing that stuck out to me is when he said, we know how dope you are. It's time for the world to know how dope you are. And that meant a lot to me, because I know how dope I am, and I know how dope I've been to anyone. that ever came in contact with me. You know, it's never been like fake or phony. It's always been real and genuine. And, you know, and I speak into everybody. If someone's down around me, you know, I feel it's my purpose to, you know, lift them up or help them feel better, or just to be that listening ear, or just to be that person that they can lean on and stuff. And this year, you know, I'm always that person. I always will be that person. You know, that's like I said, I feel like that's my purpose in life, is to pour into people. But this year I had to pour into me and show up for me a little bit more than I do anybody else, because I needed to be there for me like how I always been there for everybody else. So Choose You First definitely happened this year for me. This year for me, and I can say it felt good. And it feels good.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, listen, the beauty is that it helped you first, but it's also helping us too. You know, I have two of your shirts here, and you know what I mean, the premise behind what you're doing with Choose You First really is empowering, which it's supposed to do. So it not only did it help you in real time firsthand, but it's also going to be helping everybody else around you that is watching you make this transition, that is watching you take this leap of faith. Because earlier, like you said, it's a leap of faith. Right. Ultimately, right. You want to be able to create this brand, this movement that's not just about clothing, but it's also about empowering people to realize that you got so many jewels. A lot of us are dope, and we don't realize our greatness. Right. And we let the world steal it from us.
Yep. Nope. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about it. So, my goal is to don't stop here. I plan on being all over the world, because the world gonna know Choose You First, and they gonna hear it, they gonna see it, and they gonna live it. Because you know, I'm gonna speak. That's my goal, to speak into everyone.
Okay.
So like, yeah.
And let me see. One of the things I always like to do in this podcast too is to highlight the Capital District, because there's so many positive individuals that came from out of the Capital District that still live within the Capital District. And I think sometimes it gets overshadowed by a lot of the negativity that we see on the media all the time, or sometimes on social media, you know what I mean? But there's so many positive stories. There's so many great experiences that I remember from Albany that I hold near and dear. But what was growing up in the Capital District like for you? Were there any type of programs that you took advantage of? And do you know if those programs are still around today?
Growing up when I was younger, it was more better than it is now. But it was more fun. You know, we went to, like, used to go to the teen center. My mom did have us in the YMCA for a little bit. The teen center that, you know, at Livingston, and then, you know, Cook program, teen night as well. So like, those were all fun times, and, you know, great memories back then. You know, just getting out, just doing something, being more like positive. I mean, there were some little, you know, things that happened back then too, but like, you know, in the community and stuff. But as in for me, like, you know, just being able just to be a kid and just, you know, go out and have fun, and, you know, go back home safe with your parent, or, you know, with your siblings, with your family and stuff. So, you know, those programs definitely, you know, help, and, you know, have a lot to do with my childhood history of growing up in the Capital District and stuff. Like, other than that, like, that's it.
Yeah, because the reason why I ask is because a lot of times, every person that I interview, I ask the question, and it's like, we'll always talk about how many more programs we used to have. Every part of the town you went to, it was a teen center. It was some type of program you can do. It was a camp program, and a lot of it was free. So, and it's just like, I
went to 4-H camp too.
4-H, yes. Shout out to 4-H.
I went to 4-H camp too. Yeah, I forget, but I went there too. So,
but it's just like, sometimes we look at it now, being 2021, and we'll be asking, like, where are all of the programs? And then we'll look at how not having an abundance of programs has affected our communities and what we're doing with the time. So, you know, that's why I always ask the question, like, you know, what kind of programs were you involved in? Are they still around? Because we need all of those programs. We need the programs because it helps our parents to get a break from us. Because sometimes a lot of our parents are doing it by themselves. Your mom did it the same way. My mom did it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the programs, the Boys and Girls Club was everything for us. We went to the Boys and Girls Club religiously. From Clinton Avenue, we would walk to Thomas O'Brien to Toast. From Toast, I went to Hackett. But I would, from Uptown, walk all the way down that way, and then be walking my butt back home afterwards.
Right.
So,
Right.
Let me see. I know earlier you mentioned about coming from out of a dark space, right? So do you give yourself permission in the space to change? And if so, how has it been giving yourself permission to change in this new space?
Absolutely, definitely, because we can't stay there. We can't stay stagnated. You have to give yourself permission. You have to find time to give yourself time to change. So, you know, my phone rings. I'm surprised. I didn't want to speak it up. I'm surprised they ring now. But like, I meant to put it on Do Not Disturb. But no, it's the taking time for yourself to get to know yourself. Like even during this pandemic, this would have been a good time, you know, because a lot of people were stressed, a lot of people lost jobs, a lot of people went through, this was a mentally challenging pandemic. So I say Choose You First was a good time to come out during this time because, like, you know, it definitely helped me change. And I give my I give myself permission to change or grow because we can't stay the same. And I say that to say, because I choose my peace, I choose my happiness. And you gotta do that by getting to know what you want and getting to know who you are or or what you want out of life or just what you want in general. Like you have to choose you first. You know what makes you happy. You know what's best for you. You know what you want in life. And I say, go for it. And I say, don't allow nobody to stop you. Don't allow nobody to tell you can't. Don't allow nobody to tell you, oh, well, just like minimize what you're doing or brush it off. Like it's not important as what they're doing is like, so I just say like, yes, change, choose you first. Definitely helps you change. Definitely help you pour into you, definitely help you pour into taking care of you, loving you first. So I say, yes, absolutely. I give myself permission to change all the time, every day. I'm not the same person. I'm evolving.
I love it.
And I'm going to keep evolving.
I love it. It was something that you said, and I actually think I've already figured out what the title of my clip for you is going to be. Choosing you first is not an option. It's a necessity. I love that when you said it. So
that's it. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not something that I just wear or I just might want to wear. I appreciate everyone who have supported me, everyone who have worked for me. The main thing about it is receiving the message and to know that it's okay to choose you first. It's okay to say no. When it comes to you doing what's best for you or you doing what makes you happy or you pouring into yourself, it's okay to say no. Not right now, not today, maybe not later, or if they're no good for you, never. Like, you know, so it's just so you know, it's okay. And you know, and you know, because you like you know who to show up for and you know who not to show up for. And when you are doing something or when your mind is in something or you're happy about something and you love doing, like, you know, whatever making you happy at that moment. And then you have people who you always showed up for, and then some may not show up for you. And that's okay. That's all right. Yep. You just know where to keep people. Don't get mad. Don't be angry. Just keep them where they stand at and stuff. Yep. And it's okay. Continue to choose you first. Continue to do what's best for you, and continue to grow in life and move and be happy and be at peace. And yeah, that's where we at with it.
I love it. I'm gonna bring my next two questions to you regarding the community in the Capital District. What do you think are some of the things that keeps the community from coming together? And do you know of any solutions that we could make to change in the Capital District area?
The first question, I feel like in the Capital District, like people, I don't know. I feel like people don't like, support one another, that people feel like in the capital district, I feel like it's just a big old competition. No, like, I don't feel like there's enough like people coming together, supporting one another, helping build each other up. I feel like well, that one's doing that and that one's doing that. Oh, well, either I could do it better or not, like, pointing to each other, they're pointing to themselves, or some could be selfish, which is fine or whatever, but not fine, but whatever floats your boat. And then so that's why I feel like it in the capital district. Like, I mean, unless you in the wrong group, and I'm just, I don't know. But yeah, I just feel like in the capital district, like, it's like a big old competition.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, and I think that until we can learn, and until we all get into a space where we realize that we're not at competition with one another, it's always going to be like, I want to one up you. Oh, Tutu's doing this. Oh, I'm going to do this too. I'm going to do choose yourself second. You know what I mean? And it'd be like, why? You know what I mean? Why not put that same energy? If you had that type of energy, why not either try to work with me, or why not just respect the space that I'm in? Because it's enough space for us all to thrive. And I think that it takes us to mature to get to that place. It's like, some people think that if you shine or if you succeed, it's going to take away my opportunity to shine and succeed. And that's not the truth. It's enough room
because what God got for you is for you. And it will only be for you. So this is Choose You First is mine. And, and I don't mind sharing Choose You First by pointing into you and helping you figure out what works for you. But no, yeah. But, and then I feel like, maybe if there's more like, business etiquette classes or, or just things for the youth to do, like the young men and women, just more programs, more advocates for the kids and, businesses, just everything here. Okay. I don't know.
That'll actually lead me to the Black Expo coming up this week. Because if you look at it, I think Todd says she has 176 vendors. So that's going to be 176 vendors. I know Choose You First is going to be one. I'm coming back to you on that. But 176 vendors, that means different personalities, different businesses, people coming together to tell the Capital District area what kind of products that they sell, what kind of things that they offer. It's for one person. I know Todd has her team. But I know she's behind Mahogany Connections and being able to put that together. So to put 176 different businesses or different groups or organizations together in one place is huge. And I think that's what we really need to see. And I think, like you touched on earlier, the lack of support and supporting one another. I mean, support doesn't always have to come in terms of buying something. Sometimes support can come in just sharing a post, which is absolutely free. Which is saying something positive, which is absolutely free, which is staying out of somebody's way, which is absolutely free.
Exactly.
Yeah, learning how to be more supportive to one another. I think that's going to be on display this weekend at the Expo and at the Gala, which leads me to my next question for you. How excited are you to be one of those featured vendors at this year's Capital New York State Black Expo?
I'm very, very excited. This is my first vendor. First time going to the Black Expo as well, but this is my first time vending Choose You First. I'm excited. I can't wait to meet all the new people and meet, see who else is vending down there. And I'm just glad to be a part of it. And I got my entourage coming with me to help me, set up shop and stuff. And I'm just excited. I can't wait to see and meet and just see like what it's about and stuff. Like, just be, beyond the vending and stuff, like see what other things they got in store for us and stuff. So I'm excited about it. And I can't wait for people to see what I had. And I do have a sale going on, a special $7 off. Or like what I have in inventory. So I'm excited because the whole thing is to give back, which I did give back this year too. And I gave back to a couple other people too, but I'm excited.
Okay. Good. And in terms of giving back, if I remember right, did you give out some free merch and free gear to, was it nurses? Was it it wasn't I kind of remember seeing a picture and everybody had on their t-shirt. I thought that they were nurses. They might not have been nurses. Was it nurses?
No, it wasn't nurses. I gave back to the domestic violence shelter. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Just to let them know that, they may be in a dark place or they may went through something that was traumatic or trauma or tragic. And let them know that it's okay. Like, that you're not alone. You are thought of. And I wanted to get back to them as well.
I love it.
So,
I knew it was something. I messed it up. But yeah, it was the domestic violence shelter. Okay.
And then I also had breast cancer awareness sweaters that I had done, and I gave back to a couple people, friends that I know who was fighting breast cancer awareness as well. So, that's my thing, is to pour into people, especially when they are down. You lift people up when they are down. You don't step on them. You don't forget about them. You check for them, like, checking up and showing up for. That's big to me. You check up on me. You show up for me. Of course, I'm gonna do the same for you. But if you know where to be found when I need someone to, like, just to let me know that you're there, then I still love you. We just won't be the same.
But I'm gonna remember that too. But I'm gonna remember that too. It's the Virgo. Yeah. It's the Virgo and it's the Virgo. And so you want to bring out that positivity. You want to give it. But one of the things I have learned over the years is that sometimes we can want it for other people more than they want it for themselves. And I had to find a balance for me, where it's just like, when I give, make sure that I'm not giving what I need, right? So it's just like, because at one point in my life, whether it was family or friends or the community, it was just like, my mindset was just to give, but I wasn't really putting myself in a position where I should be secure in. And I had to learn through that experience, running my mentoring program for 9 years up there, model. It was a lot of sacrifice for that. But that's why you go through things, you come out of things, and you come up with something even better to make sure that you get better. And by you getting better, you inspire other people to get better. And I believe what you're doing, one, I've known you personally, so you've always been positive and dope, just like your brother said. But two, what you're giving birth to right now is going to be a whole new wave for the world to see about being able to put themselves first and putting themselves on display, and
know that it's okay to do it. Feel like it's okay. Don't feel sorry for saying no. Don't feel like you let someone down by saying no. Don't feel like they're going to be mad at you by saying no. That's their problem. That has nothing to do with you. You choose you first. Your feelings matter. You matter. Do what's best for you. Show up for you. Focus on you. Get to know you, and everything else should, fall out all in place. So that's the main thing.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'm gonna bring you back to another question. I always tell everybody, for me, but I'm 38 now. I think the two worst years in my time that I recall in the Capital District area was 2020 and maybe 2018. And I say that those 2 years, the shootings, the stabbings, the murders, everything spiked in 2018 and 2020. Leads me to my next question for you in the Capital District. But how have you been impacted by gun violence in the Capital District area?
Well, earlier this year, I lost my friend, Shanita Thomas. So may she rest in peace. And so, I just feel like the guns need to be off the streets because like innocent people are dying, getting killed or whatever. And I just feel like, I don't know, like where do you start? Like, I don't know, like where would you start, like to just try to like diffuse the situation before it become all for both families are suffering or you're going through the pain or, laying their loved ones to rest. You know, I don't know. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So
it's a lot.
So like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot. I was actually talking to Malka earlier today because she's going to be on a different podcast, the Ream and Juice podcast later. So me and her was talking, and I was just trying to give her some inspiring and encouraging words too. But when you just brought up Nita, first things first, rest in peace, Nita, because that right there is a prime example of one, how, you know, you can be part of the solution. You can be advocating for the solution, but sometimes if you're in an environment that doesn't want the solution, you know what I mean, unfortunate things could happen. And that was that one right there was a horrible one. So sorry for your loss. Sorry for all being lost. I do love what Marky did and getting everybody together. I know I reached out to him personally. I definitely gave too. And I thought that it was an excellent thing to bring everybody together, because if we got to stand for something, we better stand for something right here. Like, no, enough is enough, period. You know what I mean? I know about the streets too, but it's just like, yo, enough is enough. It's like, yeah.
Enough is enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when will it stop?
Yeah.
So, what Mark did that was awesome. That was dope and very appreciative.
Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna be at the expo. I highly expect he's gonna be at the expo as well as one of the vendors. So we'll see. And that's another great example. It's just like, you know, you have a brand, he has a brand, Jovar has a brand. There's so many different companies that has a brand. Champ has a brand. Everybody has a brand, and it's just like we don't got to be in competition with one another. Actually, you know what? We can utilize each other's resources to make our own material better, and you know, might be able to save us all a couple of dollars by being able to find a proper plug. But once you step into the place of putting your ego to the side, it really does allow you to build with other people. And that's what we're missing. That goes back to that earlier question. How do we re-engage with the community? Put your egos to the side, you know what I mean? And just realize that the larger picture, it's a word called synergy. The sum of the whole is greater than any of the individual parts. That shit always meant something to me. It's like, wow, you know, it's not just about me as the whole, but it's about Tutu doing her part, Tyrell doing his part, this person doing that part, this person doing that part. When we all do our parts, the whole is better.
Right. Change start within us, with us. Change start with us.
I love it. Let me see. I got a question for you. Thinking of your younger self, what is something you wish someone would have told the younger English Walley?
I wish they would have told us more about credit.
Good.
I wish they would have told us more about credit, and you know, I don't know. I've always been me. Like, I don't know.
That's a good one, though. That's a good one. Financial literacy is huge. I think Angelo from Fresh and Fly Clothing. I had him on in season 1. And one of the things that he had advocated for was that understanding credit. That was something that he wishes his family would have stressed to him a little bit more. He had to learn as he got older and messing it up. And you know, we had a whole conversation about it too. I'm like, man, before I even got a chance to have credit, I didn't have no credit, because you have parents that use your name for certain things. It was just like, holy moly. But we don't learn how important it is until we get older. And then it's kind of like now we're trying to undo some of the things that we may have done, not realizing its importance. So financial literacy is huge, which is why, like, you know, I teach a class at my church every Saturday called one of the Dave Ramsey courses, Financial Peace University. And it was one of the things that I had to learn, because I went, like I said, awesome. Had no credit, to credit, to tearing that up and then having to rebuild it back up. And it's just like, you know, it takes you to go through experiences sometimes. Not for all of us. Some of us can learn from other people. But sometimes you got to go through it to have a greater appreciation for it. So I like that. I think credit is a good one that we need taught in.
They should have taught it in school. actually.
Facts. Facts. Yeah, I think it's out of the, what is it, 51 states? Is it 51 states? Don't judge me out there, the back community, if I got that wrong. I think so. But out of the 51 states, I think it might be like 13 to 17 of the states that actually only teach financial literacy as a part of the educational curriculum. And we need that. That should be a part of the curriculum across the country, especially knowing what we know right now with student loan debts, with bad credit. We need better financial literacy. Period.
Right.
Period. You see. This is my favorite question of season 2. What does success look like to you, and how do you define success, Tutu?
Success looked like to me, of, basically everyone, like Choose You First being across the world, everyone wearing it, not only wearing it, but walking it, talking it, and actually living it and choosing them first. That's my goal. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I speak into existence. So that's definitely my success, is just seeing it everywhere. And you'll see me, like I said before I started, you'll see me somewhere else on a talk show as well, speaking to maybe Oprah or Steve Harvey or something about Choose You First. But definitely everyone's gonna say Choose You First. Everyone's gonna know that English Walley is the CEO of Choose You First, and then where it came from and where it's going. And just being able to be the entrepreneur that I am, being able to do things with my family, create memories, and cherish those moments with my family, and just living, living freely,
I love it. And shout out, yo, you got some of the flyest kids I've ever seen. And listen, but I am not surprised at all.
Right.
But yo, I just sitting there looking at the twins. I'd be looking at them and say, man, these guys are fly. So you know what I mean? But yeah.
No, I gotta pour into me first. Like I was that before. Then I just, fell back a little bit and just started pouring into them. But I said, no, I need to get it back because y'all get it from me anyway. So nope. Those are my babies. Those are my motivation. Those are where I see them right now, is where they're gonna go other places too. So that's my motivation. They are my motivation, or whatever.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Let me see. I got a couple more questions for you, and I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
What is your favorite place to visit in the Capital District area? So that can be Albany, Troy, Schenectady, wherever you like. What is your favorite place to visit, and why?
Well, being I'm a homebody, kinda, sorta, most of the time. So I'm gonna just say, when I came, so when I used to live in Las Vegas for 3 years with my mother, down there with her in Las Vegas, when I came back to Albany, my first places I would go would be just somewhere, Stewart's, of course, because the ice cream is definitely not the same down there. Stewart's ice cream, can't go wrong with that. That was something that we was missing in Las Vegas. And then, and my favorite food, one of them is Chinese food, and their Chinese food up here, I would definitely go there. But now that I live here, to just get away or just to go for a vibe, or just go have fun, is my family establishment, the Hookah Lounge.
Yes.
Blowing smoke. I go there to have fun. I don't blow smoke. I don't do hookah, but just to be around my family and just have a good vibe and get away for a little bit and then go back home into my I don't know what to call my humbly abode. But no. So yeah. That's where I go, to the Hookah Lounge, Blowing Smoke Hookah Lounge, just to get away for a little second, to go for a nice, safe environment and a good vibe. And then, I come back and then I come back home. So that's my favorite place right now. Be an hour lift. I can go to stores whenever I want to, or I can order Chinese food wherever I want to. I don't have to travel way up here to get some good ice cream or some good Chinese food, because those are really my favorite. But like, yeah, that's it.
You are actually now the third person that I can remember that chose Storts for their ice cream. Because I asked everybody the same question. So it was like, I think Tierra Gelliard and Deanna, I think they both chose Storts as well. So shout out to Storts for that. I know we used to get a lot of grant money from Storts, so I got a great relationship with Storts. Shout out to Storts on that one for their ice cream.
Right. Storts ice cream. You can't go wrong with Storts ice cream.
Let me see. I think you might have mentioned this indirectly, but I'm going to ask you it directly. What about your life's path are you most proud of, Tutu?
Being able to, because like I said before, or I might not didn't say this on camera, but I'm not like an open person. So like, I'm not like I'm becoming an open person. Obviously, I started today because
you gonna learn today.
Because this is the first time that I ever been on anyone's camera. Because everyone knows I like to. I do my own video. I take my own pictures. I don't want to be on your videos or nothing. But so me just being able to have the courage or the strength just to push Choose You First out there, to let people know this is what I'm doing, this is what it means, and actually live it in it. Choose me first, taking time to myself to choose me first. If I need peace, if I need some time to myself, if I need quiet, if I need time to meditate, or I put my phone on do not disturb in the morning, and I set a certain slot for just me to meditate or get work done, or before I go to another job, because I have to pray and I have to meditate and I have to get me together before I get into my day, or just go around. You don't know what type of spirits you're gonna run into, but if you're grounded and then you're good and you're all set and covered, that spirit won't interfere with what you got. You be like, you're having a bad day, or I'm sorry, or I'll pray for you, or if I can speak into them, I will. So just being able to get Choose You First out there, and actually not just thinking about it or sitting on it, or I'm gonna do it. I ain't do it yet, but I'm gonna do it, but actually doing it and getting it out there, and getting my foot out into the world, because like I said, everyone gotta know Choose You First.
I love it. And shout out to you for walking out on faith, because that's exactly. What you did. Stepping out on faith. And a couple of things what you said today makes me think about how you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you.
Exactly.
So
he's first. He helps me.
Shout out to you, because being an entrepreneur is not an easy thing. A lot of people will always say what they could do or how they would do better, but a lot of people won't even take the first step, which is what you have already done, right? Which is you take steps 1, 2, 3, 4 already. And shout out to you for doing that and believing in yourself. And I truly believe that if you want to be on Steve Harvey, if you want to be on Oprah, well, now what is it? Oh, on OWN. And you will be, because you have a message, you have a presence, and you're a Virgo. Who don't like dope ass Virgos? So it is what it is.
We're the best. So
it is what it is. I'm just saying.
We don't
you
have
heard
to
it
try
first.
too hard. It just comes to us. We don't try too hard. It just comes to us. It's natural.
Yeah, so. Swag was invented with Virgos. I'm just saying. Let me see. This is my last question for you, and then I will let you go. And I want to make sure that I get you the best one first. Before I ask it, what's the best sign in the world?
Virgo.
That's right. Okay, I just wanted to reiterate that, just in case so the back community, our audience
Virgo,
out there knows that.
VIRGO, Virgos. If you didn't hear me, that's for the people in the back too.
We just had to clarify that for you.
Okay, that's
everybody who's wondering, if you was wondering.
Okay.
But let me see. I get motivated from a lot of different people. I get motivated from a lot of different sources. So I always like to ask other positive individuals as well. So are there any types of books, apps that you use, people that you follow on social media that inspire you, that you might want to share with the Black community?
So I pray a lot, and I pray a lot. And I do have a spiritual guider that, if I'm feeling down, I would say who it is or whatever, but I don't think they want to be out just yet or whatever. But that helps me and gives me like confirmation if I'm having a bad day, or if not even if I'm having a bad day, if I'm just like stagnated on like, what I want to do, or like, what should I do? Should I go this way or should I go that way? I have a spiritual guider, and I pray and I meditate. And at one point I was following a YouTuber. She like does affirmations, but I do affirmations as well. Her name is Sparkle Marie. She's on YouTube. I was following her at one moment, but like I said, life gets busy. So I can't do everything and all it like how I used to when I just had more time, because I am a mother of 3 and they are a handful. And, I am a fiance and I have a full-time job and I have a full-time business. So like, I got to make time for me. So in that little bit of time, like I don't really get to do too much, but I do what's important, which keep me grounded. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
And shout out to Fatisha Thompson. I just interviewed her. I want to say right before you was Kev.
Sorry.
Before that was Fatisha. But she also does affirmations, and throughout our interview, we were just focusing on the vibe. It's like, yo, you can feel the vibe, you know what I mean? You can understand the mantras and speaking into existence what it is that you want and what it is that you want around you. So I totally understand that one.
Yeah. No. You need affirmations. It helps you and it reminds you that what you want in life, or where you at in life, or what your heart desires you want, or it helps you keep you aligned and in divine timing. So like definitely.
Okay. Hey, well, there you have it, the Black community. We are the first to get Miss English Walley, Miss Tutu herself, Miss Boss, Miss CEO of Choose Yourself First. We are the first person to be able to get her on the podcast. So thank you for extending your time with me. Thank you for opening up and being vulnerable enough to share your story. I know you. I know you're a dope ass person. I can't wait to tell your story. I can't wait for the world to choose themselves first as a result of being inspired by you too. So thank you for giving me your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, and anytime. I was looking forward to it, man. Anytime I get a chance to connect with a fellow Virgo, I gotta make it happen.
Right. Okay. That's it.
But how will the people find you? I know once the video comes out, I'll be sure to tag you in there. But what are all of the places that the Capital District area can find you at? YouTube, Instagram. What's going on? Website?
So I have a YouTube coming soon. It's in the works. I have that coming soon. So I can reach more people and across the world. And I definitely Instagram Choose You First _ inspire t-shirts, and Facebook is Choose You First. Like choose space you space first. And well, that's it. That's all I have for right now. And then soon later on, after I start my YouTube, I will restart a podcast as well. And then I'm just gonna all revenues everywhere.
Okay.
It's
called the takeover. The takeover for a reason.
Just give me a little bit more time. I told you I'm busy. My slots are like they're all taken up, but I'm gonna make more time, because then I'm just really gonna step out on faith and just get full blown into Choose You First.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Listen, man, I wish you continued success moving forward. I look forward to seeing you this weekend at the Black Expo. Thank you for choosing you first. Thank you for being
Thank you.
inspirational. Thank you for always being positive, Tutu. Like I said, I wish you
Thank
nothing
you.
but success. So the back
Thank
community, thank you for listening in with us as we have Miss English Walley. Thank you for being on the platform today, man. And I play
Thank
catch
you
up
for
with
having me.
Anytime. I'll see you
Thank
this
you.
weekend.
See you this weekend. Bye.
Later.
Keep climbing up the ladder. A Black Lives Matter. They matter. Matter. So all you young people, give me all. 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 Matter, matter. A Black Lives Matter. They matter, they matter. A Black Lives Matter.